So, morning loves, beginning seated or lying down as you wish. Let's just have a few moments to ground into our mats. So if your eyes are gently closed, just imagine roots, wherever you want to imagine them from. If you're seated, I like to bring them down from the tailbone. But if I'm lying down, then I sort of tend to visualize them from the soles of my feet. Or even lots of little roots coming out through the back of my body. Imagination, let it just run with whatever suits you. And let's just take a moment to tune into our breath. It might be the first time this morning that you've actually become conscious of the breath. So let's just follow a few inhales and a few exhales together. And really noticing the parts of the body that move, the ribs expanding, the belly moving up and down. And also noticing what you need to be gentle with today. So observe Satya and Ahimsa, truth and non-harm to your body. If anything doesn't feel right, adjust or just come out and find a posture that feels right till we move on. So how do you feel mentally as we sit or lie here? Is the mind busy? Or can you gently notice it sort of starting to slow down and calm? So we'll come up for meditation. If you're lying down, just have a moment to draw your knees in one at a time. Enjoy a little rock. And if you're already seated and you just want to gently move the head, roll the shoulders, and just make sure that you're comfortable in your seated position, that your spine feels okay to sit there for 5 minutes. So today we will just sit with following the breath. No counting, no mantras. Doing it this way, the mind does tend to wander a little bit more because we're not giving it something to do. So don't worry, don't berate yourself when you've really kind of gone off on a tangent. Just notice, and just notice the amount of times you can come back to that still point. Maybe coming back and just sort of following the breath a few times. And then let the mind wander. Be amused by how your mind works. And maybe even think, why am I thinking this thought? I wonder where this thought's going. So just sort of be aware and conscious of how it feels just to be you and be quiet and sit for a bit. So we'll rest our hands, Dhyana Mudra. We'll take 5 minutes just to simply be. Just start following your breath. You can let your eyes close and relax your face, unclench the jaw. Just soften your shoulders. And just stay following your breath. This might allow you to rest in the gap between thoughts. Notice where your mind is. Just come back to your breath. Noticing if your breath is becoming slower and longer. And just take one more lovely breath. And blinking your eyes open, noticing how you're feeling. How busy was your mind? Were you thinking about what you're doing for dinner? Or did you stay kind of more often than not with the breath and just being? I must admit, did wander off thinking about dinner, and then I caught myself and brought myself back. It happens. So let's take butterfly. Nice opening pose, this one. Gets us opening into the hips and just a lovely gentle lean forward, stretching into our back a little bit. So just resting. If you need cushions under legs, always use some padding. And let's just explore what the body wants to do. Breathing to belly. Come back into that lovely meditative state in your mind. Following the breath. Finding the gap in the thoughts. Noticing if you can relax the shoulders and upper back. softening your face. How do you feel in the hips? Can you relax anything else? As you relax, is there any movement further into the pose? Notice where your thoughts are. How you feel in this pose, whether it's comfortable this morning. And then we'll take a lovely long breath. Let's gently lift up, nice and slowly, feeling what we feel in our hips and anywhere else in our body, lower back especially as well. And then let's come into Shavasana, neutral spine. Taking this time to observe. These moments that we come into the pause after the pose, I think actually is so beneficial to life. As yogis, I think these moments do allow us to become a lot more body conscious, to be body aware when the slightest thing is out of balance in us. These moments of stillness give us that practice to recognize when something maybe needs adjusting, or we need to see the doctor, or we need to change or shift something. Practicing body awareness. We can lie here and really notice our back and our hips and everything that we feel down to our toes. We know whether we're tense a little bit still or whether there's more room for relaxation. So let's just draw our right knee in and then our left, and then have a lovely rock. Nice to kind of reset and massage our little back. So we're going to come into bridge. If you've got a block, just the one, and you've got two ways of doing it. You can either have it on the top height, if you feel like you just sort of need that stretch today, or the lower height. If that is too much, then just maybe a cushion just to lift your body. So it's a supported bridge pose. So whatever you want to do to support just lifting your body up. So today I feel like coming on the top level. So draw your feet towards your buttocks. Come onto toes, often just needed to have that lift to bring that block on the sacrum. So not on the lumbar vertebrae, just on the flat part of the sacrum, almost in line with the tops of the buttocks. And then allow yourself just to find a comfortable position here. The legs may sort of lean outwards. Again, if you've taken the block to the lower position, then same position where you plant it sort of against your body. You'll know if it's uncomfortable. So relax the inner thighs. Start trying to relax the belly. And the other place that a lot of tension resides is sort of the shoulders near, and that kind of hunching up of the shoulders to the ears. Try and relax there. Unclenching the buttocks. So check in with the inner thighs again. How do you feel? A lovely pose for all of these will be root chakra related. But certainly throat is activated here, and heart, solar plexus, and sacral. Keep relaxing the tops of the shoulders and upper back, and check in with the buttocks and thighs. How do you feel in this pose? If you want to, this really lends itself, this position, to breathing Ujjayi breath, that breath where we constrict the airway a little and it sounds like the ocean, or a sort of a snoring or a Darth Vader. So you can breathe a few Ujjayi. If you're comfortable just breathing normally, then just natural breath. What do you learn about yourself in these poses? Perhaps it's not a physical thing, perhaps it's sort of tolerance or patience, or you're curious as to how the pose will unfold for you. Sometimes we might be in a pose and it's just impossible to totally relax. We just always come back to tension. And maybe what will that reveal? And other times you might just so easily sink into the softness. Just check in with your neck and see if there's sort of anywhere you can relax a bit more here. And then we'll take a couple of breaths. And gently, when you're ready, support yourself as you lift away from the block. Really slowly and gently be very aware of your spine, and then slowly roll yourself down, one vertebrae at a time. And then finding a nice comfortable Shavasana. And then what do you notice? Just take that curiosity inwards. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Is there a nice relief somewhere? Does it feel like some energy's been sort of shifted if it felt a bit sluggish and blocked? What emotion comes out from these poses? And just watching the body and being aware of the sort of the changes in the few breaths that we're here. How does it feel through your body? And then when you're ready, we'll hug knees in. So we're going to come into cat's tail next, a nice gentle twist. And if you've got a sofa cushion, then that's often quite handy for resting the head. Take a nice long rock here, hug the knees in, bring the head up if that feels nice, just to get that extra stretch through the lower back. What's lovely about yin is there's no rush. It's just nice to feel what's going on the whole time. So as I'm positioned this way, I'm going to come into the right, onto my right for cat's tail. So let's start lying completely in line on the right, bringing the left knee over. As I always say, it's sort of like that recovery position. If you can, grab your foot. Great. If you can't, it's really it doesn't matter. Okay, so right side, left knee over. And then when you're ready, just rolling that shoulder back. I like to have the pillow because it just supports the neck and the head. Otherwise, I find you hold a lot of tension through the head and neck. Otherwise, you can use your hand to cradle, and that perhaps can offer some relaxation. Okay, so starting here, try and relax your right thigh, the hamstring, the buttocks, holding the foot in a nice gentle way and rolling that shoulder back wherever you want to be. It's up to you. And then breathing, just enjoy bringing the breath to the belly. Feel it move into the chest and up towards the collarbone. Notice if you want to reposition your head or the direction your face is pointing. Does that relax you a bit more? And gently following how your body moves as you breathe. Can you relax your calf muscle on the right leg? Can you relax the muscles around the left side of your ribs and your waist? Will it feel nice if you roll a little further back, or will that make you uncomfortable? Is that too much? Keep looking through the body for tension that you know you can relax. And then when you're ready, let's take one more lovely breath here. Roll to your side, release your foot. And then really slowly, very, very aware of your back and your spine, maneuver onto your back. Let's give our spine that opportunity just to reset. Nice sigh. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Where's the movement of chi? If you can feel different temperatures, tingling. Perhaps certain parts of your body feel quite vibrant. You might find that you can feel some real deep sensation on the right and on the left, but in totally different places. Where are the sort of the pockets of stimulation? So let's have a hug, a little self-hug. And then coming up for the other side, I'm going to swivel over so that we're coming onto the left. So lying on your left, and then the right leg comes over, supporting your body. grab your foot if you can. Don't worry if you can't, it's not important. And then let's just roll back. You might go further this side, or you might not. It might be sort of a bit more of a resistant posture. So just be open to what your body wants to do. Loose hand on your foot. Don't be too tight with the grip. And just exploring. Again, try and relax the back and the waist. Certainly the head and neck. Get quite a nice stretch down the sides of our neck in this position, especially if you're holding your foot. You perhaps feel it all the way to the sort of along the top of the shoulder to the top of the arm. And then drawing awareness to your breath and your belly. Your belly might start rumbling here as well, you never know, mine is. It's any kind of twist, it's very activating in the digestive area and the chakras, sacral and solar plexus. So as you breathe, how do you feel? What's going through your mind? Do you feel good in your body in this moment? Often when we feel good, we're connected to our source. When we're feeling bad in life, we're disconnected. So a good guideline to whether you are in tune, in alignment, just do anything that makes you feel good. Notice your breath, if it feels nice and open or if it's in any way laboured. And then maybe you can just explore a bit more of a twist. Does it feel soft enough to move into it more? If your back could talk or your body could talk, would it be saying, this feels good, I like this is needed, do this more? Just notice that sort of inner dialogue with yourself. Relaxing the neck. Whenever you notice it might be tense. Just take 2 more breaths. Just follow them. The movement of the breath twisting through your body. And then gently let's relax the foot, release the foot. Do that first, then roll to your side. And then when your body's in line, rolling onto your back. take your time just to sort of get into the right position so that everything can just sort of reset, realign. And a nice sigh. Close your eyes, just tune in what's going on. Where do you feel it? Where can you feel chi moving? Is it the opposite side? Is there a lovely buzziness around your left thigh and hip? And perhaps there's a nice sort of feeling around the right ribs, the back of the ribs. Maybe a stimulation in the upper arms. How's the lower back? And then let's draw our knees in. Again, enjoy this little reset of rocking. And so the next pose we're going to come into is heart bench, so 2 blocks. For those of you that think this might be a bit too much for you today, please just use your pillow or even something lower, maybe just a very low folded blanket to lie over. They're your options. What's lovely about heart bench is that we are opening through the thoracic part of the body and the upper chest more than the lumbar part of the spine. So just choose what feels right for you today. Don't let the ego take over. Really just know what's necessary. And then we'll come into this lovely pose. One of my favourites. So 1 block aligning along the spine, 1 block just to rest the head on. Have a moment just to fidget. Always takes a few moments to get the perfect spot. And then let the arms just rest wherever they're comfortable. A lovely pose to be able to follow the breath easily. Feel the breath to the belly, the lovely expansion in your chest. Close your eyes and think of someone that you love dearly, or a few people that you love dearly, perhaps your family around you. And just enjoy kind of creating that lovely, warm, fuzzy feeling. What makes you feel warm and fuzzy? Maybe it's friends or a lovely pet that you just always makes you feel good. And a little bit like the loving kindness meditation, just send some love to your favourite people. Send some love to perhaps maybe your not so favourite people. And then send some love to yourself. Let yourself receive that warm, fuzzy feeling. And then finally, if you can visualize that warm, fuzzy feeling just blanketing the whole world, all races, all religions, all cultures, just every human being. We're all human beings, whether we get a little bit lost on the way. See if you can just send a lovely blanket of love outwards. How do you feel in this pose? Notice your thoughts. Is there anywhere else you can relax? Or are you quite comfortable where you are? So we'll take one long breath here. Gently support yourself as you lift your head first. And then lift your body. Pop the blocks away. Come down and explore how you feel. Feels good. Well, just checking in with whether that felt really quite nice to come into this restful pose. You'll probably feel a lot of it around the upper back where we've centered the blocks, but where else do you feel some nice sensation? Perhaps it sort of knocks on down to the lumbar area of the body and it feels quite free and comfortable here. If you just need to sort of rock the pelvis a little, sometimes when we come into these still spots, then just, or maybe sort of wag the tail a little bit, lift the hips up and down, just explore how the body reacts to the after effect of the pose. And then we'll draw our knees in. So our last pose, a lovely one that we all love, waterfall. So an inversion, a nice gentle inversion. If you want to grab a blanket and pop it over your feet, it's always quite nice. And then it's close by hand for relaxation. So get a little cushion. I like to wedge it under the buttocks. If you've got a little blanket, we can create a waterfall. Keep your feet warm as well. It's nice and cozy. So, just finding your happy place. You can have a nice generous bend in the knees, whatever feels right. We can focus on Ajna chakra here, the area between our eyebrows, third eye. And if you can really take your gaze there, looking just beyond into the void of the forehead, that kind of area. What do you see? Is it all just a grey colour, or can you see other colours kind of coming in, or shapes just moving? Just tuning into this intuitive wisdom part of ourselves. Can you relax your arms and your jaw? Nice gentle belly breaths. Can you find the gap between your thoughts? How do you feel? If you're feeling good, you're with God, which is something Wayne Dyer says, or used to say. When you're feeling good, you're with God, or source, or the universe, or whatever you like to call universal consciousness. Notice if this is one of your favourite poses, what you like about it. And even though we're not standing on our head, an inversion is a lovely way of being able to see life from a different perspective. You've thrown yourself into a different position to be able to see things from another angle, someone else's point of view. Nice kind of opening pose in that respect. So calming on the heart, great for your nervous system and just the lymph and fluids in your body. So we'll gently just bend our knees, lower the legs down. Pull your cushion away if you've just used that to support you. Just have a moment to come into neutral spine and feel. Again, just that lovely awareness of really tuning into yourself is such wonderful practice for the rest of your life and being very subtly aware of things. And so we'll come into relaxation. Let's draw the knees in, have a little rock. If you want to come to seated or remain lying down, and just choose where you want to be. Cozy and warm. Let's take an angel card. I feel drawn to one today. Not one, but just whatever comes. So if you need an answer to something, if you're pondering something that perplexes you, let's just see if something is revealed. Taking one with my eyes closed. Adriana. Okay, lovely. It's just seeing if this one resonates with you. So, Adriana, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I'm communicating through your intuition, thoughts and dreams. We have heard your prayers and we are glad that you've asked us to help you. As you may know, we can only help if you request assistance. The way that we angels answer your prayers is by giving you guidance that will lead you to take the steps towards your higher self's will. Notice repetitious thoughts and feelings, or vivid visions, dreams, or auditory messages. These may be my loving messages, or these are my loving messages, urging you to take action or to make changes. I will make sure that you are safe while you follow your divine guidance. Together we will work to co-create your answered prayer. That's a really lovely one. I was told that sometimes when you speak to your angels or your guides or whoever you like to tune into, you have to actually do it verbally rather than in your head, even if it's a whisper. If you have people around you and you just whisper, please help. And then sometimes a song will come on a radio and it might be just what you need to hear or an answer, or you'll meet somebody in the street or a taxi driver will just say something to you. You might see a billboard with some guidance, or you walk past a bookshop. Being open to all these lovely little messages. So today, let's have that kind of open intuition that you really see the messages that the unseen world are trying to convey. Have some time now. so gently. No need to move just yet, just bring your awareness back to your breath. And again, just checking in with how you're feeling on all of your levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Know that you're going to enjoy your day and be filled with all sorts of lovely wisdom. Take time later on to observe any energy that you need to conserve and have a little bit of me time, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes. So gently now, just wiggling fingers and toes, moving hands and feet. And if you're seated or lying down, you can just rock the head from side to side. Nice gentle movements. And then a nice hug in of the knees, lovely stretch. Coming back into your day physically. So when you're ready, just a nice gentle roll up to seated. Have a moment to ground again. Let's send the roots down. Whenever we have that moment to think about it. Reroot. If you've got anything you need to ask your guides or angels, then, just a little whisper. Please guide me today. Please let me see what I'm meant to see. Don't let me overlook your signs, whatever it is. And then bring your hands to your heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.